0, 1. Let's get started.
Why they stopping me?
How's it going, crypto world? It's your guy, Ball Deep Crypto. Tonight we're going to talk about XDC. As you can see, it's currently just over 7 cents. Total supply 38 billion. Circulating supply around 16 billion. So just under half of it out. As you can see at the bottom, all green candles. You love to see that. This is ISO 222 compliant, with the rollout coming out on July 14th, or at least the implementing of it. Looking like this could be something that's going to jump to where we've seen it just under 15 cents. What the heck was it right about there? Around 14 cents. So plenty of potential, plenty of meat on the bones per se, and excited to see what this is going to do. This is part of the trade finance, settling of bill of ladings, RWAs, etc. We're going to go over that in this video, so let's get into it. Found this article on Medium. XDC Network and R3 Corda complete inter-business settlement, POC. For people that don't know what POC is, it's proof of concept. Basically, by reading it now, I'm not a professional none of this is financial advice. But from what I could see, what they're trying to do, or what they are going to be doing, is taking it from fiat and exchanging it into XDC, the coin, and then you send it into a smart contract, a bridge, the R3 Corda bridge, which in turn puts it into a smart contract, or swaps it into a XDC, kind of like Flare does. It wraps it. At that point, on the other side, the exporter sees it, and they are able to settle or finalize whatever the transaction may be. Once it's settled on both sides, it becomes unwrapped. I believe by wrapping it, it locks in the price, because obviously it's a crypto, it fluctuates. By wrapping it, it locks it in whatever that current rate is. Now, leave me in the comments if, correct me if I'm wrong. And then once everything is settled and finalized on both ends, the transaction is complete. Then it turns back to XDC, which can then be turned into fiat. So from importer to exporter, business to business, you're talking about instantaneous settlement using XDC through wrapping it and a smart contract in the Corda bridge. Actually, really amazing. Actually, you can, for businesses, medium, small, or large, you can settle and get paid instantaneously for a transaction instead of having to pay transactional fees or using Visa, MasterCard, or going through a bank and having to settle 3 to 5 days, whatever it may be. It says here, we're considering immediate settlement between actual companies. Additional verification of systems that are affected by the fluctuations of the price and the foreign exchange fluctuation is necessary for this verification. Collaboration with crypto exchanges is essential. Really cool. Basically what they're going to have to do is get people who are going to obviously adopt and use this technology. But I can see where the use case would be very, very enticing for either the importer or the exporter of a sale, and finalizing in real time. You get money in hand, product, everything from start to finish is complete. It really feels like this is a great idea for trade and trade settlement. As we can see here, also XDC is part of Layer 0. What they are is basically being able to use different platforms, i.e. Ethereum, Avalanche, and go across platforms and settle. Be a zero slippage, unlimited transfer size, access to millions of new users and ecosystems, With 2.9 billion in gas token value, the XDC network is rapidly expanding its presence in cross-chain DeFi. Very, very cool. They can basically branch out, do RWAs, do settlements, do tokenizations via layer 0. So it really just kind of opens XDC to multiple layers, multiple chains, and the ability to do obviously more business in the future, which is now in my opinion, but coming sooner than later. As we see here, XDC is also part of R3 Corda. They acquired Secrecy, which is implemented into the DTCC and the R3 Corda platform. And XDC was chosen as R3 Corda's settlement coin. The DTCC, as you can see here, Secrecy is pleased to announce integration of a proprietary digital asset composer with the XDC network. Now let's look at this a little bit here. Secrecy, as you just read that, obviously. Now what the DTCC did do is they ran a pilot program. I don't know if it was a test. Basically something they called the Project Ion platform. It was able to process over 100,000 transactions per day on the distributed ledger. So this has already been real life use case put into effect so they could test it in real life. I believe they got up to 160 transactions at 160,000 transactions at the peak, which is incredible. DTC's private permissions DLT platform was developed in collaboration with many of the world's leading market participants, technology provider firms, Apex Clearing Corporation, Barclays, BNY Mellon, which just did the whole Ripple thing today as well, Charles Schwab, Citadel Securities, which Citadel's old symbol looks exactly like Strongholds, and isn't it? I don't know if that's a tie or not. Anyways, Citi Credit Suisse Securities, sorry if I mess that up, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, on and on, Robinhood. A lot of big players there. You know, R3 Corda now has a bridge to public blockchains with the arrival of the Ethereum-based XDC. Exciting. Very exciting. Down here, I just happen to be scrolling down this Boom Bull. Don't know who that is. Not a follower, but good on him. This just made me laugh. Obviously, Vince McMahon, shout out. Impel R3 Corda plus XDC network equals instant settlement for contracts and agreements. DTCC selects Corda for Project Ion platform. Already happened. XDC network integrates DeFi and compliance technology from Secrecy, which they now currently own. DTCC signs agreement to acquire Secrecy. Obviously just said that. And XDC to the moon. Now, just for a little bit of clarity on who the DTCC is, the DTCC Central Securities Depository has recently achieved a remarkable milestone by surpassing $100 trillion in assets. This is on June 25th. As critical link in the post-trade lifecycle, DTC provides safekeeping and asset servicing for over 1.44 million securities issues held from over 170 countries and territories worldwide. Since 2020, equities grew 74.1 trillion plus 49%. Goodness, that is a lot of money. Lot of meat on the bones here. Not financial advice. Exchange traded funds, ETFs, more than doubled to 11 trillion, and I think that's going to continue to grow. People seem to like ETFs. I personally haven't dabbled in them, don't really know much about them. I mean, I did a little bit, but I stick to the actual stock, cryptocurrency, whatever you want to call it, coin. I don't mess with the ETFs. Money market instruments grew to 4.1 trillion, also up 27%. So you can see that the DTCC is somebody that you want to be affiliated with. They run on the R3 Corda. Which chooses and wants to be involved with the XDC network. We're going to go to our man Marco here again. He's going to give a little breakdown here with XDC, how it partners with Archix to release a MiCA compliant white paper. So MiCA is the European stablecoin law. I don't know if it's stablecoin or if it's crypto bylaws. I believe it's crypto. But I'm not in Europe, but I'm pretty sure that the U.S. is going to pretty much, I would think that it's going to be in line with this, if not a few tweaks, a few changes, and then they'll pretty much run in sync because it's going to be global, and they all want to kind of have the same language and I would believe structure because they want money to be globally current and currency like that, so everybody's playing by the same rules of the road. But that's neither here nor there. That'll be decided. Currently, MiCA is Markets and Crypto Assets Regulation, so it is crypto assets. EU-wide legal framework for crypto, covers service providers, stablecoins, and token issuers. Why Archax? Archax is a fully regulated digital asset exchange, broker, and custodian in the UK. Their partnership with the XDC signals institutional-grade trust, focus on compliance and regulation. As stated earlier, XDC is ISO 222 compliant. They are fully regulated. They are wanting to play with all of the financial institutions. I would imagine the central banks. They want to be a player with anybody that's doing things by the book and basically institutions. They don't want to be running through back channels. They want to be fully regulated, ready to go. By being MiCA compliant is good. It opens the door for Europe for them. It positions itself with the infrastructure for real-world asset tokenization, EU regulation ready, and bridge between traditional finance and Web3. Institutions don't ape in. They need clarity, and XDC delivers regulation, scalability, real-world use case. This is how adoption begins. I agree. As you can see, here's the partnership. There's a little bit on it right there. Compliant white paper bolstering institutional blockchain adoption. These are big moves. They're done in silence. Corporations, institutions, they're not out there pumping it on X or Twitter. They're moving in silence. They're running Rails. They're running this software in the background and making sure that it works. And when it does, they onboard. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are onboarding. Take note. Take heed. Not financial advice, but these coins are moving in silence. These companies are moving in with silence, and they're choosing the ones that they feel are going to be the best for them along the way. XDC fits right into those guidelines, those regulations, exactly what they're looking for. Here's another tidbit here from X Finance Bull. Gold, credit, treasuries, they're all onboarding to XDC Rails right now. That's regulated money infrastructure, which institutions flip the switch. XDC settlement layer scales to multi-trillion. You front running this are getting left behind. Not financial advice. I would rather be in the front than the back. Here, as you can see, the XDC RWA league table. You've got Comtech Gold, Mercado Bitcoin, Securitize. Like I said, they own that. Fathom. As you can see, their breakdown. They've got 11 million in commodities, stable coins. They've got 3.5 million U.S. Treasury debt, 4.7 million, and private credit, 10 million. So they've got themselves in the commodities market. Looks like gold, silver, which I love silver, as you already know. I'm just here tonight to give you an insight. Nothing here is groundbreaking. Nothing here is revolutionary. I'm just out here to speak, and hopefully people hear a little bit of what I'm saying and understand and want to maybe get into this market. Not financial advice again, but the crypto market, I believe, is the next step in the evolution of money. Money changes the way that it is handled, exchanged once every 100 years. You're lucky to be alive right now when it's happening. That's all. Plain and simple. Crypto is the future. All the regulations are going towards it. All the big companies are going toward it. It is the plumbing that all money is going to run on. It's going to run cheap. It's going to run fast. Information moves just like technology. 365, 24/7. The fintech. All right, I'm going to leave it on this last one here because I obviously Jack the Rippler. Just a little something. Doesn't really have to do with XDC. More on the lines of probably XRP. But still a cool video. So I don't know, let's check it out and see if you guys like it. I'm sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, enjoy.
I'm so honored that Springfield has been chosen to host all these upscale chain stores.
Work on Phoenix, which continues to be in kind of alpha/beta.
Organized a different way, you start to see network structure. And so out of that, we create a logo called the Triskelion. We call it the Triskelion.
Buy crypto, suckers!
Some of the creators of the XRP ledger actually had been early engineers that worked on Bitcoin, and they saw some of the scalability problems that Bitcoin's likely